Hey guys, Joe here bringing you another daily vlog, and joining me today is my little brother Jacob Williams. He is the age of 13 and he is going to be assisting me in today's vlog. Say something, Jake.
Hi.
Yeah, he's not very talkative, but we're going to do our best, and I think today I'm bringing you vlog number 8. I don't know if I already said that, but no, it's 9, I think. I did 8 on something about TV a couple days ago, but today we're going to bring you another one, and I was thinking about something that me and him could both do together. He was just in my room, and I'm like, hey, come on, do one with me. So I'm like, you know what we can talk about? We both, watch movies based on books, and we both know books. So and it's something that everyone knows about. People talk about how whether or not a book is faithful or a movie's faithful to the book or vice versa. And so I thought that would be a good point of interest to talk about. So why don't we get started? What's one of your favorite book series?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, right? Everyone talks about Harry Potter, um, and it's just what I think about it is just it's so there's so many books and there's so much to talk about in these books, right? And they have so much content in the books. How could they fit it all into one movie, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there are lots of things in the books that I was really missing out on that happened in the third book or the fourth book or the fifth book that they glossed over. All the books. I mean, the first two even that they left stuff out that could have been cool to see in the movie. And when they just gloss over stuff like that, you really miss out on things in the movies, things that you would think are interesting. And you really have to debate whether or not the filmmaker thought it was a good idea to leave that stuff out or not. I mean, name something in one of the movies that you thought was cool that they left out.
Well, in the fifth movie, they're fighting with Voldemort,
Mhm.
and they have this entire bit where they turn one of the dark wizards into a pig.
Oh yeah, and the part where there's the guy and he falls into the orb thing, remember? And he starts turning into a baby over and over again,
Yeah.
and his head's a baby, but the rest of his body's a person. See, stuff like that. Stuff that would have been really visually interesting to see in a movie like that they leave out. And of course, they have reasons behind leaving it out, but you think they could film it in one way or keep it as a deleted scene? A great movie. What's a great movie series that did that is The Lord of the Rings. So much stuff from the books, so much. The books are long too, they're thick, and I mean so much from the books that they added in additional footage. Now the movies are like 4 hours long, 5 hours long a piece, and they just added so much from the book that they couldn't put in the theatrical release. I mean, I think the one thing is that they didn't put in The Lord of the Rings that I would have liked to see is Tom Bombadil, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Tom Bombadil would have been such a funny character.
Yeah. Plus, he helps them out in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, right. He's an integral part in the first book, and I mean, what happens? He goes to what happens?
Sam and Mary, they run into him
Okay.
when
Yeah.
Frodo and Sam
Mhm.
are first leaving,
Oh yeah, they go to the.
and he helps them.
Yeah.
In the farm.
I remember. No, I thought that was the
And
Barrow.
he gives them.
They go to the Barrow Downs. I thought, right? They get captured by the ghost.
I saw that's later on.
Oh no, that's Tom Bombadil. They get captured by the ghost, and they're like everyone's about to die, and then Frodo says the chant about Tom Bombadil, and he's like Tom Bombadil, Tom Bombadillo, something whip and willow.
Oh yeah.
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 And see, a lot of the stuff that happened in the Lord of the Rings, like there's a part where Merry and Pippin are getting, abducted by the giant oak. Remember that part?
Yep.
It's a deleted scene, but I don't even know why Peter Jackson did this. But they're getting attacked by one of the giant oak trees, and Treebeard comes in and says the entire phrase that Tom Bombadil is supposed to say in the first Lord of the Rings. And I don't know why they did that in that movie instead of just having Tom Bombadil be a deleted scene in the first movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not only The Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. You probably haven't read Jurassic Park, have you? Dad hasn't read it to you either?
No.
Okay, Jurassic Park, there's a lot in Jurassic Park that, would have been really cool to see in the movie. There's an entire scene in Jurassic Park where, the hunter guy, the Australian hunter guy,
Yeah.
and I think it's either the black guy or Alan Grant, but they're in a Jeep, driving through the plains, and a T-Rex is chasing them, and they have like a bazooka and stuff. How cool would that have been to see?
That sounds cool.
Yeah, right. They would have shot they were trying to shoot this T-Rex with like a tranquilizer dart and stuff and like something they changed in the movie was that in the book, in the movie the park gets shut down and stuff, right?
Yep.
In the movie, like that all happens and the park gets shut down, and it's like that for the whole book or in the whole movie. But in the book, what happens is the park gets shut down, the guy shuts down the park, and then later they bring it back online. They get all the fences back online and everything's working again.
Yep.
And then it gets shut down again somehow. I mean, why would they? I mean, I wish they didn't change that, or at least they extended the movie to make it more, faithful to the book. But again, what I guess my opinion on it is that filmmakers have to do these kind of things to like edit things or leave things out of these movies because they wouldn't have enough funds to do them, or enough time in the movies, or they're just hard to put on screen.
Yeah.
Again, we're referencing Tom Bombadil. As much as we would have liked to see him in the movie, he's just a weird character.
He's funny.
He's funny, but he's really weird and flamboyant and kind of festive, and it wouldn't match the tone that the rest of the Lord of the Rings movies were. The Lord of the Rings were like war movies. They were dark and action packed. And what if they put Tom Bombadil in the Lord of the Rings? I mean, he was pretty weird.
It'd be like putting Thomas in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit in the style of the movie at all. But I guess that's why they wouldn't, to match tone of the movie or to match, time restraints or fund restraints. But it's like you can, as a viewing audience, you can comprehend that and go, oh, that's why they didn't do this, or that's why they left that part out of the movie, right? But at the same time, you still have that desire to see, oh, I want to see this in the movie, and you still have that option or that thought, like, this is something I'd want to see in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we have to kind of recognize that, that despite the fact that we want to see something or we would like to see something developed, that we can't necessarily have it in a movie or a TV show. I don't know many TV shows based off books, so, but, I haven't seen a lot of the modern movies.
Star Trek.
Star Trek's not based off a book.
I saw Star Trek had a few books.
No, the books are
Star
probably
Trek
based
books.
off the TV show.
Mm.
Yeah. No, Jake.
I've seen
You're
Star Trek
wrong.
books.
Star Trek books. There's probably Star Trek comic books and books. Fan fiction, though. That's stuff that fans write about the series.
We went to Book Off. I remember, and
You saw Star Trek books?
like they had an entire wall of Star Trek books.
Well, then they probably wrote them after the TV show or the movies or something. Talking about that same, continuity between books and, new movies. I was just thinking about it now, and it's like, whoever watched you've seen the original Star Trek. Dad watches it with us all the time. And,
yeah.
And so, after watching the original Star Trek, and you go in and watch the new Star Trek movie, you've seen that one too, the new Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
With, what's his face, Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto. And, I mean, how cool is that movie? Right? You didn't like it? Are you serious?
I did not like it.
Why didn't you like about it?
Well, I just didn't like the story.
You didn't like How did you not like the story? What? It was so cool. They go back in time and it creates an alternate dimension. They have to go. Oh, come on. You didn't like the story.
That part with Spock in the cave, I think
Where
it's
Kirk
like
is on the ice planet.
Yeah, and then he runs into Elder
old
Spock.
Spock. Did you think that was just too random?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my one
And it
complaint
didn't make
about
any
it.
sense. It was really confusing.
Oh, come on. Well, you're just a little kid, so that's different. Because you don't understand the time continuum thing. But
I did. I just thought it was still confusing.
what I thought was dumb about the movies was that one movie is that Kirk happens to land on the SETI Alpha, whatever, that planet, and he happens to go into that cave and be chased by this monster. Spock just happens to be in that cave and just happens to rescue Kirk. And it's just like, that entire sequence of events was just so circumstantial and so random that it just didn't add up didn't make sense in the movie. But besides that, I love the movie. I can't believe you didn't. Well, anyway, what I was talking about was continuity between the show and the movie. And it's like, I think that they really tried to get a lot of stuff from the original show and line it up with the movie,
Yeah.
Like, I watched the making of the movie, and you know how in the TV show they do that thing where, like, if the ship gets hit, they go, like, and they lean and, like, fly all over the place?
Yeah.
It's hilarious, too, right? It's funny, because it's so stupid looking. But they did that in the movie. In the documentary of the making of, they have, like, guys, like, leaning. They said, we're going to do one of those original Star Trek shots. And they actually put that kind of stuff in the movie. And I think that's really cool that they went. And that's not even a story continuity. That's just a filmmaking, approach. But even so, they like put effort into trying to make sure that these characters, matched the characters from the original TV show, and I think that's really cool. I mean, Mr. Scott in the show is awesome, and he was awesome in the movie. If anything, I would wish that they gave more screen time in the movie to Sulu and to Scott. Yeah, Sulu was cool, right?
Yeah.
I remember that episode where he's like, I like how in the movie they say his specialty in hand-to-hand combat is fencing, remember? But then in the TV show, remember that episode where they all go crazy and then Sulu starts like fencing? You remember that one? I thought that was pretty cool because that's like the only reference of Sulu fencing in the entire TV show too.
Yeah,
and it's like I thought it was
really weird.
well, I thought it was cool that they even one little thing like that they brought over to the movie, and I thought that was pretty neat.
It's like they actually tried to add accuracy.
Yeah, they looked back on the show and brought it forward. So, in reference to continuity between shows and movies, that's cool. But again, with books and movies, I think it's weird because you have to find that equilibrium, that level where you have to where the book and the movie have enough in common to where they can be, of the same name and of the same, story, but at the same time, be good. I mean, I had a brain fart there, but you have to have the book and the movie equal enough to where they're good, but you have to be able to make changes to the book story enough to make the movie a success. Because honestly, there are lots of instances in books where you couldn't even write that into a movie. I've been reading this book that my girlfriend got me called The Magicians. I don't know if anyone's read it, but it's supposed to be really good. But I was reading it and I'm like, what if we made this into a movie, But then there's this part where it's like explaining this entire backstory of like, it's kind of like an Inception where it's like books within books or something, and they're explaining all the books in this book. It's confusing, but it's like, how would we explain any of that if I were to make a movie out of it? It would have to be like all visual, or we have to have narrator, and either way that would look really weird to do.
Yeah.
But so that's exactly the kind of thing that filmmakers have to take into consideration when they're making movies out of books, and of course time restraints and money restraints. And so despite the fact that lots of people feel disappointed that certain movies and books and stuff are lacking things, as for instance, I've heard that, what's it? Brain fart. Harry Potter 2. Oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. Harry Potter 2 left out a bunch of stuff from the book that they would have liked to see in the movie. My friend was telling me that Harry Potter 2 is his least favorite movie because it left so much out of the book, and it made him really upset.
I don't know. Like, not as much as some of the other movies, like Goblet of Fire. They left a whole bunch of stuff.
What did they leave out of Goblet of Fire?
The whole beginning. Like, the entire beginning part.
You mean when they're at the Quidditch match?
Well,
the Quidditch World Cup.
No, they have that, but they leave out a lot of little details.
Oh, okay.
That's in it, and like later on, they have this entire chapter, like it's Neville talking to Harry about the gillyweed.
Yeah.
That he uses.
Yeah.
In the water, in like the lake, and I just finished reading Goblet of Fire.
Okay.
And I thought they left out a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, actually, remembering back to Goblet of Fire, I remember the entire, Quidditch World Cup sequence was way longer. They dragged out that was like at least a chapter or two in the beginning, I think. And, I wish I could have seen more of that. That could have been a cool deleted scene. Because in all the books, too, they have there's a Quidditch match or two in every book, isn't there? And that is like something integral about the Harry Potter universe. And none of the movies have Quidditch except for the first three. The first, second, and the third. And even but only the first two they actually have any games. But the third one, they start a game and it ends. And it's like, I want to see more Quidditch. I mean, that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's a cool sport.
Yeah,
flying around, getting giant iron balls thrown at you.
But again, it's a money. I mean, I think they easily could have done more Quidditch in Harry Potter. Though. I mean, it wouldn't be that. I mean, I guess it would be difficult to do, but they could put it in. It's exciting to watch. I think the reason that they left that out because it wasn't matching the tone of the movies that they were going. Because Quidditch was the sort of lighthearted thing, and they started taking a darker tone in the movies. But either way, I wish they would have more Quidditch in there because I loved Quidditch, and of course there's lots of other things in the books that they didn't put in the movies that people are upset about. And Harry Potter 2 is my favorite, even if they left out a bunch. So I honestly don't care much about them leaving stuff out, but I mean, lots of people do care, but considering the restraints they have, it makes sense. But anyway, I'm about to run out of time. I have 10 seconds, so thanks for watching. Leave a comment about movies that you think left stuff out, and I'll catch you next time.